We are live. All right. So good evening, everybody. Yesterday we literally talked about Solana from scratch for those who really don't understand, and then we went into building the first like call it vibe coded program, AI assisted program, not vibe coded.
Yeah.
So we were able to finish everything. I think what happened yesterday was okay, we finished, but I think we
Mm.
didn't like test
Within
like
this, yeah.
yeah. So today should be like the last day, and
Mm-hmm.
also be looking forward to actually see everybody like join in, participate, and yeah, because the hackathon is almost in how many days now? In 4 days, yeah. So I also
Yeah.
shared the link for registration for the hackathon after the stream, and then the group chat is basically like where you could actually like ask your questions, get in touch with what you're working on, and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and also like share other AI related hackathons that are currently ongoing that you could actually like test out what you are doing with what we've done currently with this session. So as
Mm-hmm.
usual, we have Charles with us. So he will also like walk us through everything we are going to be doing today. Yeah. So Charles, I think you have the floor.
Okay. One sec. Let me move my screens.
All right.
Mm, okay, this will be here. This would be here. So yesterday we did we were able to build the product, but like um, Alex said, we didn't test. So I guess we'll move this here. I'll move this here. Okay, so I should just present my screen. We'll go through what we did yesterday, and then we'll see, um, how we can. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. So just wanted to follow up on yesterday's class. If you have any questions, remember to always drop it. This is like the final day, and you may never get in touch with me except through Alex.
Don't fight it now.
All right. So please ask all of them, all the questions. We just have, I think we just have to make this thing work and test it, on definite. So there's going to be a lot of try and error. We're going to fix everything, and you're going to see I, um, how I try to fix errors, so you learn from that process too. Because look, nobody's an island. It's not magic. So today we'll go through the code that was generated by AI for us. First of all, I want to keep all files that were generated yesterday. So I want to keep all files. This is how you do it on Cursor. You keep it. It means that you accept the files. As you can also see, I did not install save automatic save. So I'm going to do Control S. So it's done now. Yeah, so we built a message board. If I come to our README, the idea of the message board is for a user to create a message and drop it on the blockchain. That same user can update that message, or we didn't hard delete that message. We just literally create an update, right? And multiple people can do the same, you know, but they only can update their own specific message. So we can again, these are like public functions that we created. Now, like we said, because of AI, these details are quite important. But I mean, you have an hackathon, and figuring all this out may take a lot of time. But just to give us some brief understanding of how it works, so this is how in Rust we create like would I say a module? A module in JavaScript is like a file. A file is a module, or yeah, basically like a file. In Rust, you can create multiple modules in the same file. So it means that only these people inside here can have access to the functions inside there, right? It's like you can also do something like maybe what's the word, abstractions, right, from this particular structure. Now, the idea of super is basically inheritance. We are trying to inherit, details from our parents. And what is our parent? The program, right? Inheritance in JavaScript is like, okay, if you have a class human, a human will have a eye, will have a nose, will have a mouth, will have an ear. But if I now have another class called man, that man is going to inherit from class human. Because of course, all man must have an eye, must have a nose, must have an ear, must have a mouth. And and then we can also, in that class man, we can now put specific details for man. Possibly he must have a male and whatever, right? So that's that's how you do inheritance, right? So basically, right here, basically right here, we are saying super means that we want to inherit from the details here, and then it's available to all these functions, right? So in the create function, we have a context. Remember context. If you do React at any point, something called context. Context means I want to keep something on the global scope that's available to everybody to collect, right? Now, this is only going to, remember I told you yesterday that the program you put on the blockchain does not have a global space. Now, this context here is only on build time. When it is built, everything is going to just attach to the code and sent. It's not creating like a global store where some things are going to be held or whatever. I hope that's clear. Now, we also want to pass the message that we want to store on the blockchain or want to send to the blockchain. And the result type is basically, this is like a default way of like returning data back to your client or back to your user. It could be done in multiple ways depending on whichever way you feel. But this is like a standard way to just return data. And basically, we are going to say if we go into the, I don't know, if I could actually go into the result class. Let me see if I can open a new window. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to open a new window. Results first. You know what? I think I'll just explain it manually. So result basically creates like two types, okay and error, right? So this is like a default way of representing those two types, right? Which is why you can see at the final part we return an okay. Okay means this is a valid, the function has executed properly, and you can proceed. If we don't put any return type here, or we don't do anything here, first of all, if you don't put this here, this is going to break because this requires a return type. But let's say we don't want to, we want to return void, right? And we remove this and we remove this. Let's say we remove this and we remove this, right? The problem with this is that your client or whoever is going to call your method does not know what happened. Doesn't know if the method reverted or if it is correct. So which is why you need to return something to your user for them to see that, oh, this thing worked, this is not worked, this is not work, right? So I'm going to revert this. All right. Again, we basically get the message account. Remember, we have a context. In that context, it gave us the account context, like the details of the account, right? We get the message account. We get the author, which is you, the signer. We get the message, which is the message itself that we want to pass through, which is this guy. So you can see that we just add them here. We get the timestamp, timestamp like the current time, which is basically just use the one from Unix. And then once these are done, we send them. If you want to do more, I too know, you could basically maybe pass the, um, let's say you can pass message, oh, sorry, message, the other one, you can pass details here, right? But it means that you need to update your results type to suit whatever you're going to pass as the final value. So Ross is not from like the way you go on Twitter and people are shouting Ross, Ross, Ross. It's not so hard. It's just that you are not familiar with the syntax, or yeah, it's not. Nothing is. It's not really hard. You just have to be familiar with how it works. How programming works generally, in general, right? If you've ever written TypeScript before, this is similar to TypeScript. Like you cannot return what you have not typed as a return type, right? It's going to break. So it's similar. But let's revert this. Okay, it's enough. All right. You can see it says we can do an I think we can do error type. I think we can do error. So we can do an or error. I've forgotten the syntax on that set. So basically, we can say, okay, look, if there's an error, show me the specific error. Let's say it is the author that was wrong, or the message that was too long, or whatever. Show me the specific error. Remember that we're doing validate message, which is a function, yeah. And in that function, we've gone through this again yesterday, but just to remind us, in that function, we said if the message length is empty, like if there's no message, say imagine the user just send an empty data, right? Return message is empty, right? Because this dot trim is like we're trimming out white spaces. So if somebody come on our UI and just click spacebar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those are characters, right?
Yeah.
But we can trim those things off to have just to get the real words that are inside. But if there's nothing inside, that means it's empty, right? And also want to check if the message length is bigger than the required length that we have for message. If it's bigger than that, we also want to return message too long, right? Um, so we also want to return message too long. I think I've lost my train of thought. That's what I want to talk about here. Right now, on your front end, yes, on your front end, you of course you will need to do validation on your front end. Like maybe user cannot pass this, but never ever as a blockchain engineer believe what is sent to you. You have to assume it is the worst case scenario that is being sent to you. Even as a backend engineer, so you never ever believe what's sent to you from the front end. So even if the front end does validation or not, that's not there. That's their own problem. In your own side, you must check all these things one after the other, right? So we go to message account. So message account, like remember when we talk about account, account is a store. Account is where things are going. So account is that store executables or data. Executables are your programs. Data are like what you want to store in the account. So this is our account. This is what we are going to store, right? We're going to store the author's public key. We are going to store the author's message, and we are going to store the timestamp. Now, look at what I'm going to do to explain something to me. Imagine I don't understand this. I'll copy this, right, in my AI code. I'll come to my cursor here, and I'll say, explain this. Let's see what's going to tell us. Let us see. Okay, so you can see it's breaking down the block of code. So this block of code defines account context. What is a context? Remember, this context is what we passed here. Do you get account context when create message runs. So when anybody invoke this thing, this particular function defines, I mean, this particular method defines, I mean, struct defines the context of what is available to this particular message method that is being run, right? So it also breaks down each of these. So this derived account anchor generating validation code for this struct. Before the instruction executes, it checks that the incoming account matches these rules, right? It checks before even there's an execution, it checks that the author, the message, and all these extra details. I mean, it checks this inside here, right? If what is being sent matches this already. So if there's no signer, please don't even make a call to this method. If there's no payer, don't make a call to this method. If there's no message account, don't make a call to this method. Do you get it? It's not. It doesn't just allow you to do the call. I'm trying to see what would be an example of this in JavaScript or in TypeScript. Something that can check on. So because yeah, at least for basic JavaScript or TypeScript, they don't have runtime check for basic JavaScript or TypeScript. It don't. So that's why anything that compiles and build and you have it on your production, if it is on runtime, no, JavaScript does not have runtime check. But this are runtime check that will check before this thing comes and say, look, this is not a valid method. Now, destruct message, create message. This is the account list for the create message instructions. Info is anchor lifetime for account references. So basically, lifetimes is a it's a kind of thing in Rust that basically just shows ownership of a particular properties at a certain time. You can give a property more lifetime. You know that this thing, okay, this property here, because the idea of Rust is that once the property is done, once it's no longer holding any value in the space, it's cleared off automatically, right? But then I can make that thing stay longer because I know this I may need it again in the future. So that's why you give it lifetime, right? So for instance, if I do x equals to 1 and I remove that 1 from x, x is done. X is no longer going to hold any value again, right? But I can make x stay longer after removing that 1 if I want to. Using so that's just that's not all, but that's just the basic idea of lifetime, right? Public signer basically says the instruction must be signed by a wallet. That means you cannot call this method without an owner, without an author. We need to know it's not an open method that anybody can just make a call freely or just make a transaction freely. In fact, most method in blockchain are always going to have a signer, right? We need you to sign on your MetaMask or your Phantom. You need to always sign that this is what you want to do. Message account is now this account, right? We want to see where we are going to store our details on, and init tells Anchor to create an account. So init, when you say init in your struct here, it's telling Anchor to like, look, initiate this account. It's like when you create a class, right? Init in a class means you want to do new class, invoke that class. That's initiation. You're just initiating that class, and then you can now use the property of that class or the property that initialize that class and now say x property dot kiniko or dot 123 dot whatever, right? So init is like initiation. You want to invoke the constructor. You want to just start up this process. That's the reason why we put init, right? This is when anchors know, okay, look, I need to initiate this with like the default value first whenever you deploy this thing on chain. So yeah, you can just copy all your code line by line and it explains it for you. So in plain English. So let's go to this one in plain English. It says the user must sign, the user pays to create the account, the message account is a PDA tied to the user, the anchor, um, an anchor should initialize that account with enough space to store message data. Simple. That's why we created this. So why is this useful? It prevents arbitrary account addresses. Blah, blah, blah. It lets the front end derive same PDA without extra state. Okay, so let's go to the front end code. This front end code was also created by our AI, right? So it has a I think we should just start from this is first of all, this is Next.js React. So you should know this. Do I need to explain front end code then, Alex?
Yeah.
No need.
Mm.
All right. So I think we'll just run it. npm run dev again. I have something
Or,
running on.
or
I have
maybe we
something
should
running.
just talk about like the connecting of the program to the front end code. So that
Yes. Let me see this. I have this error. Too much. Yes, let's go to that part. Let's go to the so we'll go to the library and we'll go to the I think we go to the oops. Use transactions. I'm gonna look for where these are being used so I can just find the methods. Find where they are being executed. Handle submits. Okay. Generate message. Send, mutate, toast. But I think this is the place. Right. Comments to the board, message. So first of all, after this was generated, the code was generated, the ROS code was generated. We ran it is internally ran this command to generate the. I think it's here. We ran this Kodama JSON to generate the Kodama JSON and map it to the front end. So if we go to generated, we'll see all the methods, all the accounts generated by. You don't write this in with your hand; it's just generated for you, right? Generated by this guy. Then the idea is that we map this same JSON into our UI. So if we come to this use message account, you see how we fetch message by account, find message by account, and then we create. If you know what they call hooks in React, it's just a way to like abstract um, methods, right? Abstract things from the view because we could and make things very reusable because we could just copy all this and put it everywhere in our React, but it doesn't make sense, right? So the generated message we call this, and of course use the fed. So basically, this is how we find the message account based on the signer, right? Again, I didn't write this in my hand. You guys were here. It was just generated by AI, so you don't need to worry too much about it. At the same time, just what we're doing now is to understand it. Um, Now, this is how we get the find account PDA, and then if it's cancelled, we set the new address. Um, and then this is how so if there's an error, we basically set it to null again, right? Basically set it to null again. Cool. And then this is how we make an RPC call. You can see how we use how the AI use SR. This is like server side. behavior. So you can see complete signature with key, provide maximum flexibility over OSWR. It's like one of the server side things. This is like the recommended way for making some RPC call. And then we you can see how we do fetch by message account. We put in the RPC URL there, put in our address, and then we'll make a call. Right. So this call is going to do every 30 seconds. This one is nice. Um, if I come to clients, you can see use Solana clients. This is where we make, I think this is where we're going to have a Solana context. So if I come here, Solana context, pass in this, create Solana context. This is where we get our cluster URL, devnet, mainnet, testnet, blah, blah, blah. This is our RPC, WebSocket links. Yeah, so basically they just create like a nice way to get cluster URL and get WebSocket URLs. Okay, so I don't think we should worry about this. And the reason why we have this as a provider is because we want to make it available on every part of the app. So that's why you have provider. So that once anybody initiates our application, Solana is already available for all the methods we're going to call it for. So let's go back to. So we use message. So let's find this guy and let's see where this is being invoked. Use message. Good. So in the message board, we are going to, first of all, we are going to send a transaction, right? We are going to do we're going to invoke this this hook, which is give us this method called send, and it's sending. If you go to this hook, you will see that what it basically do is this method called send is going to get some send instruction. Remember I told you yesterday about the building blocks of Solana. You make your user wallet makes a transaction. Your user makes a signed transaction. It collects an instruction. The instructions is now sent to the blockchain. That blockchain now executes this instruction to different accounts. So it's going to say, look, this instruction, does it want me to read? Does it want me to update? Does it want me to, what do you want me to do? It's figure it out. If it's to read, it just reads it. It doesn't need any, for reading, it doesn't need any, let's say, logic or blockers. But for updating, it needs to check if this person has authority to update this account, whatever, right? So you can see how they are passing instructions. This is very important because instructions are going to be multiple. There can be multiple instructions, can be 3, 4, 5. Send them. It knows what to do. And then when you pass those instructions, we can get signature of that instruction, and we send signature back to the user. That signature is now your transaction signature. So if we send it back, most of the time people like sending signature back so that the front end can have something to show the user that it has been done. You can go and check it on Solana Explorer and click the signature and it takes you there. This is like regular practice. I don't think it's the best practice, right? In the sense that not everybody knows what a signature is. Like signature, blockchain Explorer itself is quite, confusing for non-techie people. I mean, just opening that in and you're seeing characters, numbers. What is going on, right? I don't think it's the best. I think for, maybe somebody should create something that non-techie people understand at the first glance that okay, this is what it means. It's done. No need to worry. Or just tell them it is done. Right? The same way they will make a backend call and they will get successful. Nobody will send it to their database to go and check your name inside, right? Anyways, so when we do that, the reason why we are doing all this is so that we can get previous messages of this account So we get we get the wallet address, we get the message of that and the account of that message. We get if this account already has message. We check if it's loading, and we check this is a method to be called, right? Um, this is when we want to update our message. And so let's go to how this is being reflected. So if I already have a message, it's going to show message on the screen for us. It's going to show it on our UI. If I don't have a message, it's going to not show that. It's going to show unknown. No, it's not going to show unknown, but I think it's going to show null. So it's going to show empty. All right. Um, yeah, I think this is it. So this is where we update message. And this is how we update. So if you already have a message, if somebody already has a message, that means they want to update. If you already, if you don't have any message at all, that means you want to create, because you're only updating one account per you, one account per user. A user does not have ability to create multiple accounts on blockchain from our application. This is basically what we told. Remember when we were doing that yesterday? We were doing one to one. They're saying, look, A. The first instruction was like, okay, do you want it to create multiple accounts? I say no, just one. So if you already have a message already, and you want to send another message, that means you want to update. So this is why we're doing this. If not, that means you want to create a new message, right? So if we go to this, this is generated by the Kodama. You can see the logic too on how this is done. But I don't think we need to go into details of this. I mean, I could explain it, but we don't need to go details of this. So basically, it gets the program address from our config. Basically, remember our message board address is this guy, right? This was the same. This is the same message address in our script, in our Anchor script, right? So this is why this code Dama is very useful, because it like makes things quite easy to work about. But let's run this. Let's run this. I need to kill the process. Oh shit! Let me stop sharing for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, give 1 minute. I'm on it. I want to kill some. Oh, same issue. Let me remove devlog. Then let me remove .nests. Then let me run dev again. Okay, I guess it's good now. I will just share my screen. Is there anybody that's in the kitchen? You have like Coda CV.
A vibe CV coder. Never understand.
All right, so we have this running. I hope my this thing is not spinning. Anyways, so I guess how do we see the front end? We need to. So there's a way on Cursor that we can see preview this thing. How do you do that again? Browser. Open browser. Okay. Cool. I think Usos should pay me because I've marketed them today and yesterday. It's just a very useful tool for me. All right. So this is it. This is the UI we got. Um, First we need to. I want to use DevNet. If I'm going to use DevNet, it means I'm going to need to create. I'm going to need to push.
Connect your wallet and all that.
Yeah. So let's not use DevNet. So I'm going to use, I'm going to need to push. Let's use local nets. But then if I'm going to run local net, I need to run a validator. Um, so what I'm going to do if I was you is to come to the documentation here and I will see how they instructed us to do it. You can see, say, excuse me, please. To test against a local validator instead of DevNet, use this. Then I'm going to follow these instructions. Let me see if I won't have this validator. I think I have it already on this laptop. Okay, cool. I have it. So I have a blockchain mock running because the whole process of going to push on these things is a lot of can take a lot of time. And then he said if I want to deploy, I need to do it this way. So let's deploy all our local net. I'm going to create another terminal. I'm going to do this localhost confirmed. I'm going to say, let me see, ls. Oh, I wasn't inside the project. What is our test ledger? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do cd. Let me see if it's going to still work. cd message dash
Board, yeah.
board slash anchor. I'm going to do anchor build. So it's going to compile. Perfecto. Anchor build has gotten so fast, unlike before. We're going to do anchor deploy. So it's saying upgrade authorities, the deploy message board, no default signer found. Run this guy to create a new one. let me remove my screen from before you hear before you hear this boy has been hacked. Okay, I'm getting another error that says require a value. Let me see. Someone is asking a question. Say love the progress. Oh, thank you guys. Let's see. So what he wants me to do is to use my own Solana JSON in my root folder to be the signer, right? And I've not set that up already, so I'm going to need to do that. No such directory. So this is basically I cannot show you this now, guys. In case you're wondering why I can't show this now because
It links to your original wallet that
yes, yes.
you used to deploy. I
These are,
understand.
these are some mistakes people do, and if I, yeah. I mean, did you see the app yesterday, Drift?
Yeah, so that's crazy. I think it's more of social engineering than a programmer.
No, most of the apps are always social engineering. The tech is good enough, but when they call your employee and say, "Look, we have so and so deal for you," um,
Yeah,
We
and
have this for you. Come and do
I
this
kind
and
of
that.
learned that you don't use your work phone for general things. If you're working in somewhere like Drift or like a very sensitive organization, you should have like separate devices. The one used for
Yeah.
work is totally different from this because having access to $1 million, what is $1 million, $200 million vault, and this let
Mm.
Jesus Christ, so I can't even.
I
It's
mean,
crazy.
it's crazy. It's crazy. This is why whenever those supply chain hack happens, everybody's shouting. Supply
Yes.
chain. Do you know why? Because people are not as secure or security conscious as you think.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Collins posted one yesterday where um where the guy had his ENV for 4 years. 4 years, and there's a to do on that ENV, move to a secured whatever, whatever, and they didn't do it for 4 years, and they wiped out $2 million from their chain for 4 years. Because see, it's you be like, it works now.
All right,
4 years.
like doing the same. If it
Yeah.
worked for 4 years, it would work forever.
No, nobody can handle system now. But supply chain acts would go into your EMV. This is why it's very, very important. You don't,
Yeah.
when you use supply chain acts, just off your of first, just until they fix it. Because it will go inside your laptop and it will be going through files. Any file that has maybe node modules, it will go to
Yeah.
find EMV, and then it
And
has
exploiting them.
most of them has like what they call configurations, IP config that is sent to from your
Mm.
server, and you be like, this was how I got wiped one time uh, through an interview. Said, no worry, run it, and I'm always like, never, I cannot be asked. Nah, me, I know myself.
I
I'm
like
that guy.
don't be too conscious.
I'm that guy, but no, you can never be so sure. You can never be so sure. Anyways, okay, we're almost done. You're almost done. And then finally, I'm going to do Solana config.get confirmed. I'm going to now do um,
You are not streaming. It's not live. I don't know if you're done. Like you're not sharing your screen.
okay, yeah, sure. I know I'm not running it. I know I'm not sharing my screen.
Okay. I thought you were done.
Okay, let me clear my screen. I'm sharing it now. Wait, something is here. One sec. Okay, so I need to drop myself. Okay, just for a quick check, Alex, how many people on this call?
145.
Okay, cool. Then let me drop myself. Give me one sec. So I'm gonna do Solana airdrop. Okay, so I have a drop this. I have two Sol now, and then but that's for DevNet though. That's for DevNet. Anyways, so let's go back to the README. Um, we were here. I think we should start. We can do this again. Anchor deploy. Anchor deploy. Insufficient funds. So I need to drop myself from my local nets.
Mm.
Mm, let me see again. Then we do. Well,
Uh,
how do we
we,
drop ourselves
I
from
think
local
since you're
nets?
local net, you could just airdrop like maybe 1,000 soul and so first.
Mm, I've forgotten the command. All
With
right.
link to the address, but if it's the same thing, just Solana airdrop to it. You just any amount, you just do that immediately and continue.
Yeah. What is DevNet though?
Oh,
Let's do
we
dev, let's do
okay.
DevNet. I'm not sure why the local net is not working. So we're gonna do Solana sets URL config. So we have confirmed we have set it to DevNet. Create a new wallet if needed, and then drop to it. No, we don't need this. We can now do Anchor Anchor build and Anchor deploy sync. Anyways, the truth is I'm going to change anything you are seeing here, all the keys. I don't even care. Like everything, I'm going to change all of them. Whether it's public key or I'm changing every
just
single thing.
just don't get anybody close to your laptop. You take a
I
screenshot of
know.
everyone attended this call.
Oh, what's going on now? Upgrade authority deploying this. There's a problem deploying. I could just copy this same error and I'll just drop it here. So let's see what it's going to tell us. Insufficient phone. I have already dropped myself. Are you kidding me? Why would you tell me insufficient phone? And now I'm now rate limited. Can somebody send me airdrops to this. Let's see.
Mm,
Faucet
let
Solana
let me
is
check.
Faucet Solana has come. All right, let me put the address. Uh, DevNets. It needs GitHub authentication. Interesting.
How many so do you want? Let me see if I have. I'll send you
I
the.
need two. I need two.
All right, send me the address. I will get down.
But let me see the balance though. Zero. Interesting. Um, I will send it to you through the chat, right? Yeah,
Yeah, or WhatsApp, anyone.
it's here. It's in the
Okay,
chat.
yeah, I've seen it. I've sent it. Check. Uh,
Okay, you sent it.
yeah,
So let me do Solana balance
yep,
two. Nice. So we're gonna deploy now. Are you ready, guys? Let's do it.
yep.
So we're deploying our program on chain. Perfecto. Here we go. Here we go. Once you do this now, you are now you can just change your CV.
Blockchain
Senior
engineer.
senior blockchain engineer deploying products on chain. So it has created this. So we are going to check it here. So if we come here, um, if I come to the problem is that I need to share the screen itself. But let
If
me
you get here, you don't have to share the screen. You could just like go down, or just I'll just remove it.
can you share multiple screen?
Um, check. I've not done that before.
Hmm, no problem though. So I'm going to
Okay.
do. I want us to I want them to see this on Interscan or on chain
Okay.
because that's like a very good way to explain things.
Okay.
Do perfecto. So you should see my Chrome tab now, right? Are you seeing my
Mm,
Chrome?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So since we deployed on DevNet, we're going to click on DevNet. We're going to come here. We're going to paste this. We're going to search. Good. So this is what we deployed just now. This is my signer address. Remember, I am the creator, right? Um, so this is the account that was created. This remember, like I told you, even the programs will stay in an account, but they are going to be executables. And yeah, so it created this. This is the SO we used for it. Um, yeah, so let's go into the code itself, the details of the code. Show program. Okay. Show raw. Nope. System program. Blah, blah, blah. I think we should use the Solana Explorer one.
Yeah, that's I think that's the developer explorer. So scan is the general one.
Yeah. So let's see Solana Explorer. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities in Solana in the sense that so many things can get better,
Yeah.
right? So many things can get
But
better.
have you seen is it Orbits by Helios, the explorer that they have currently?
Helios.
Yeah. Yeah, Orbits. That's actually like also a good one. I think one of the cool things is that it also has like AI explanations of transactions, but I don't really know how good
How good it
that
is.
yeah, how good that one is. So it can actually like explain your transactions and that. Let me see if it's here. Orb, not Orbit, yeah, Orb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Orb.
All right. So yeah, this is the program. Our program is live on Solana. So if you copy this wallet address, you can see our program, and and then these are the address. This is the remember this address. This is what we use in our code. So if I go to my libROS, remember this account address is what we declared. And when we did declare underscore ID, this was what was it was inside there, right? Um, and then if you click on this, we can now see let's see the program IDL. We can now see the two functions that we have in our code. Remember, we have the create message function, we also have the update message function, right? And then we also see the parameters that this or the account that these functions are going to update, so to say. So we have the signer account. The message account is where we store the data of the message that we send. Remember, it's a PDF, and the system program is basically default, like system programs. Anyways, then the update message is remember the signer and the message account. Message account again, if you want to update a message, you need to already have a message existing. If you remember our UI logic where we checked if it already exists. If it already exists, update message function was called. If not, create message function was called. Right. So it's pretty straightforward. So what we can do now is to come to our local host 3000. I'm going to share the other one instead. We should come to our local host 3000 and we are going to connect to and we are going to connect to and we are going to connect to DevNet because now we have the program on DevNet, right?
Yeah.
So it knows that it should automatically know how to map it. This is why we are using these things. So we'll connect this. Oh la la la. So we connect.
The program, okay, the program ID remains constant. Yeah. I
Yeah.
wanted to ask if we custom. Sorry.
No. This that's the beautiful thing about using Kodama. It already maps everything you need, right?
Yeah.
I mean, before I hype it, let's see that it works first. Um, but I have 0 souls here, right? So
Yeah.
I also need to copy this out. Let me see if this will work again. Let me just go to the faucets. Um,
Maybe you could just request airdrop and check if the feature works.
requested. Where is it?
You-
Okay. Look at me. I even forgot. You see, I've been rate limited,
Mm. Oops.
so that means it works.
Yes. It
That means it
works.
works because I already requested like a couple of airdrop before,
Yeah.
so I now got rate limited, so it basically worked.
I'll just share the address
Uh,
if you
you
if you
can
send.
share. You can just give me like one. One is more
Oh,
than enough because I'm just making a transaction.
yeah.
All right. So if you are here and you are building on Solana, anyways, if you have any other question outside this, you can message me on Twitter, not on
X.
WhatsApp.
Yep.
You've done it.
Yes, I've sent it.
You can message me on X, and so let's send a message called "Hello World," right? And we publish this message. Moment of truth. This transaction may fail due to insufficient. I have sufficient. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro?
Let me just refresh.
Let me refresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Alex is the OG. All right. Confirm anyway.
Yeah, it talks. It talks.
Okay, good stuff. So I guess we can copy this address here. Then we'll not. So I'm gonna I'm gonna show you guys the screen I'm looking at now. One sec. Oh. Okay, maybe I can just stay here. I share the screen. All right. So good stuff. Now it gave me a transaction hash of what I sent. So I'm going to look at the data. Just a few seconds ago, I'm looking at this data. Look at the message I sent. Remember our account. This is our account, right? Our account must
Yeah.
have an author, must have a message, must have a timestamp. So if I come to display, I want to see if it's going to bring out the real message I sent to the blockchain. That's what I'm looking at. Message board. You can see this is a message board program. Yeah, Alex is the OG in the blockchain now. So Alex name is in the blockchain. If you are in the comments, you want your name to be on the blockchain. Write your name now. In
Let's put
case
it on
because
chain.
let's put your name on chain. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So yeah, you can see this is not take us like, I mean, what it should have taken us to build a oh, this Mobot guy is following up. Let's do for him.
Yeah,
Uh
King Jaja
King
Popo.
Jaja. Is it King Jaja Mokobu? Remember back then like, we have a hall called Jaja Hall. My name is Mobot 685. So
I
let's
don't
do
feel
that.
like a bot.
Hey, let's go. So we're gonna do share screen. So remember our because remember this is updated instead of publishing it now says update message
Yes,
by itself. Do you know why? Because remember we had that check in
one
our content
message.
has
Yep.
if has message is true, do this. So it's changed a lot of things. So we're gonna do my name Mobot
685.
6 8. No. Let's make this guy. Let's give him rep. Mobot Mobot the Colossum King. I beg expect Colossum. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's correct.
I think it's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, Colossum King. Okay, and then we're gonna do confirm. Confirm anyway. Perfect. All right. So we have Mobot's name on chain. If we go back to our account, which is this guy, so I'm going to share the other screen.
King Jaja.
Mhm. So if we go back to this guy and I refresh this guy, we should see Mobot's. Okay, I think it's still holding the previous value. Let's see. Okay, good. So this was Alex's own. If we come to this neutral hash, if we see what it does there, see Mobot 685 is the Colossum King. All right. So yeah, that it is. I can send it to you guys. You can just play with it. Um the funny thing is there's how do I send it to them? How do they see it?
Well, let's. Okay, just
No
drop it in
worries.
the chat. I'll
I just have it
share
in
it.
chat.
I'll just share it. Yep. Let me share it now. Yeah, they should get it.
All right, so you can go to the Explorer and you see the two transactions we created. We created one for Alex. That's the first transaction that shows Alex's name. Then we created the other one for Bobot, which is the other one. For King Jaja, you can play with. You can just. Should I? I don't want to stress, but should I need to have this on GitHub or something? I think I will
Mm,
make it through Soli or something. Then you guys can
yeah,
just.
so just deploy, share the link. I'll share.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe anybody can go test it out.
Go test it out. So this is an opportunity for you guys to ask us your questions. I mean, I know Colossum is starting on the 6th, right, of April.
Yeah, yeah. I think there is also one more thing I wanted to ask you
Mhm.
about before the call ended. So it's about skills. So I think we did not talk about skills during the course of this conversation. So skills is
Mm.
just basically like an MD file that describes like everything your AI should do. Maybe you want to build programs, things it should do, things it should not, and
Mm.
all that. Could you like give like a little bit of stuff around that side?
You know, the idea of skill that people don't know that skills is more peculiar to cloud
Okay.
than to GPT.
Mm,
Um, but it's basically just speaking to your AI. I could create an empty file. Like
mm,
remember I told you the first catch was do not for blockchain development, do not just create prompts like a large prompt that say go and build, because it makes mistakes with like the environment, it makes mistakes with like the Solana CLI and all other stuff. So in essence, what I'm saying is, even if I do, if I come to my, I'll share my screen. Can you see my?
Okay, yeah, let me get it up.
Okay. Um. So even if I do, if I come here and I say, let's add skills.md here, as in before I created this. Remember, I'm using a. If I do skills.md, right, something like this, yeah, and I'll create. This is a blockchain app. Do not blah blah. All these are they are the same thing with prompt. There's no difference between skills and prompt. So no matter how complex your skill itself is not really anything peculiar. I don't know if you get what I mean. It's like
Mm,
I can copy this whole. It's like a text that I can just put directly um on my prompt and have it do it, right? But the only thing is that these skills stay with the project. If I'm running agentic solution, in the sense that I'm not there, it needs to always have something to reference with. Because if I send a prompt now from here, from the text box, that's done. It doesn't know it again. But if I have a skill that it always refers to back, I say, look, anytime I want to make a change, I check this
it's
prompt, or
fine.
I check this file, and I make sure that everything is aligned to this file. That's for agentic solution, not really for a one-off build. So if you're building like something like OpenClaw, um, maybe you have multiple agents working left and right. Right. What I do, like I told you, I don't have a skill file for my project. I only have a JSON file because it feels, because sometimes I need to do dynamic changing in my files. Like for instance, I want you at some point to have less than 100,000 tokens at a particular section. I don't want you to get more than 200. Using JSON, I can be able to pass these things directly in my app. But for building your own product, like one-off product, I mean, there was no way in this product whereby we did like a GPT-5 dot creates. We didn't
Mm.
do any logic, right? Um, Sorry, this question.
I said deep skill reference system is what I'm working on, digging 0026 adopting skills.
Good for you, bro. Okay, so is that clear? So the video quality
Yeah,
is low. I can't see the code. Your screen properly, or is it just mine? It could be from your end, though. It could be from your end.
I
But
think everything is fine from my end too. It's
you always see
clear.
the recording.
Yeah.
You always see the recording. So um, okay. So you don't need if you are building something like this, you really don't need a skill file. But if you are building things that agents needs to talk to one another, you must have a file or a JSON file or a SQL something that they will always reference to. If not, agents will hallucinate, like they will make a lot of mistakes for you. In fact, if you ever use agent enough, you know that this is a very stupid tools that you are very, they're not as smart as you think. One thing I've noticed about agents, about models, not agents, AI models, is they will look for the shortest route for any possible solution. They're not looking to do long things that will take hours. So first time
Like
say
consume
you
small tokens now, and it's net positive for
yeah,
them to do it that way.
well, and it gets and you the creator, you may want them to take the longer route because I mean it's your
Yeah,
money now.
yes,
So that's why you need a skill. That's why you need skills files. Like tell them, bro, don't stop at this level. Continue. Let's get this thing done. Right. So that's just the idea about skill. But if anybody has more questions, maybe one day we'll do something about agentic AI, where one agent in one AI talking to another.
it's working
This, this,
on.
this, this thing can be very, very interesting, actually. I'm even feeling interested in doing that. Maybe one agent is running on the blockchain, another agent is running on the blockchain, and they're like talking to
Interaction.
each other, and we are not doing anything, we're looking at them.
Maybe we could do it after. We should be like in the middle of the hackathon now. Maybe after. Could see.
Maybe I would need to, I would let you know. But
Yes.
it's something
Yeah,
we are looking to
it
do.
makes sense to
So,
be honest. Yes.
mm.
Uh, so I
All
don't know if
right.
you're going to
Mhm.
have more questions. Agentic workflow, explain. Yeah, we'll explore that maybe later.
Let's get on just going for the next exploring products. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Okay. So yeah, I wanted to say something about last the that's yesterday.
Mm.
So for the hackathon, I think what do you call it again? Colossium released a co-pilot skill.
Ah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so if you are able to run it and set it up and all that, I think that would be actually like very good. That's for those who are participating. It basically like
Okay.
shows you about like your product, gives you like an idea of what you're working on, asks it questions and all that type of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually like important that if you're building for the hack and just know about it, at least now that you've known how to ship with AI, it shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
difficult to also like run something like that on your system. So we're also looking out to see if yeah, AI credits for those that will be participating for the hackathon, and
Which
if
credit? Which model? Let me know. Which
any
model?
model is just we are not giving the AI credit. I think pretty much like let's say grants for it. So,
Hey.
but it's basically like for those who will be participating actively for the hackathon,
Sure.
right? You will not be building this message app we did, and you want us to give you like giving you anything. So, but yeah, we are looking at exploring that. So one of the reasons we did a lot of some things regarding building some other programs with AI and the best practices and all that. So I'll be looking forward to interacting with you guys in the group chats and seeing what you guys are shipping for the hackathon. If you have more questions, Charles is always active on like not always, I'm sorry, but he's active
Mm.
online. So
Mhm.
you can actually like maybe I think most of the best way to
Charles,
reach somebody is the person's comment
Twitter.
section or like
Yeah,
message
just
person.
chat. If you chat with me on comments, I always talk to you. Just
Yeah,
looks on Twitter. I
yeah.
would I would. Is it just? I don't. I've forgotten my Twitter. It's how bad I am.
Let me see if I'll get it now. Yes, is
Bruh.
the last day for
Yeah.
somebody.
So you can always reach out to me there. Um, I just know that I talk rubbish a lot, so it's my Twitter. Whatever.
I
I don't
swear,
care.
I can't tell you what to do.
So, but yeah, these days is my yeah, cool. So this is my, will I say, changing period. I've started changing and becoming born again on Twitter. You know, no more. Anyways, yeah. So you can reach out to me on Twitter and I would reply. Uh, if I don't reply early, it's mostly your message went to request, and sometimes I
Yeah,
don't even remember that the request
that's crazy.
part in the message box. But yeah, I'll
That's why I
definitely
said
reply.
comment section is always a good place to actually reach out to
Mm-hmm.
somebody and can continue the conversation in the group, in the DM and all
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for this call. I think we just continue in the Telegram group chat. If you have questions, if you have what you're working on, I'm looking
Mm.
forward to see you guys there. Oh, okay. Finally, wait. Let me share the Colosseum link for those of you that have not registered. It's actually like very important that you register for the hackathon. The hackathon is starting like 6th. So having an account is like number one criteria because you can finish building and you will not submit. So first
Yeah.
of all, register so that by the time you want to submit, it's just one click and just registering from scratch. So
Yeah.
I think that's everything from my end. Just I don't know if you have any other thing to say before we call it today.
Nothing much. Just basically wishing you all the best, but please ensure that you cook something good. You have AI now. You have everything you need. And as someone who has done it before, who has won before, because people don't know, I was
Yeah,
like
I
the
know the
founding
product.
listen, yeah. So um, you just ensure that you cook something nice, right? Look more into infra instead of consumer. That's where a lot of most of these profits. I know. Do not and don't be part of those people after the hackathon and start crying that they are neglecting Nigerians. No, no, that's bullshit. They are not regulating you. Just cook enough, right? Cook enough. It doesn't have to be too much, but cook enough. Like you said, you look like we try. All
Yeah.
right,
Okay, no problem. So thank you very much everyone for joining in. I'll be ending this stream now. Bye guys.
all right. Bye, guys. Have fun.